morning and happy Saturday, you guys. It is Amanda and Barron with Kicking Cancer Cares on KSLM Radio, 104.3 FM and 1220 AM. And our sponsor for this first half is Mike with Odd Moe's Pizza. We were there last week.
Which is kind of like the recap and the thank you all at the same time.
Oh my goodness, it was so much fun.
Oh man.
I had a blast.
You ate lots of food and still lost 1.5 pounds.
1.6 pounds to be exact.
Oh,
actually.
sorry, 1.6, not 1.5.
It's like I need to start eating Mike's pizza every week or every day because it was phenomenal. I fed my body all of these vegetables and good healthy things. I mean, I did indulge in the poppers. Don't get it twisted.
574 to be exact, because I did hear you say that.
And I was editing it and had to order Odd Moe's.
Oh! So for those who listen to the radio show, Ashlie does our YouTube channel, and that's the voice you just heard.
Yes.
Which, if you haven't, please go to Kickin'Cancer Productions on YouTube and subscribe, like, add your comments. But the one who ordered the Odd Moe's Pizza, that would be our videographer person.
Yes. So Mike's pizzas are absolutely amazing. They are like no other. The Green Monster, I have to rate and rave. Wait.
Rate and rav? Rat and rave? Just make stuff up.
I'm
It's okay.
dyslexic.
Just make stuff
Bear
up.
with me. It's so good. And then there's Michael that works there, and he likes to add the chicken to it, which I always forget.
Yeah.
But he also says to add bacon bits on top. Oh my gosh. So that's probably what I'll be having today for lunch.
Well, I am so honored to have a guest with us that I have known for a few years. Allison Hancock is the executive director for the Breast Friends organization.
Well, here on Hello Rose City, we like to highlight nonprofits doing good works in the community. And one of those nonprofits is Breast Friends, a group that supports women who have received a breast cancer diagnosis. And joining me now to help us learn more about the work they do is Allison Hancock, Executive Director, and Patient Outreach Specialist, Brooks Fuentes. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming. So Allison, tell us more about Breast Friends and the work you do.
Yes, Breast Friends is a nonprofit. We've been in business for 23 years, providing emotional support to women who have faced a cancer diagnosis. We provide education support and community to women all over the Portland metro area.
Yeah, and are you helping those women at any point, kind of on their journey?
We are, from the moment of diagnosis through treatment and beyond. Breast Friends is there to support and encourage each woman. I'm an 18-year breast cancer survivor.
That's great.
So I know, the importance of that support.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand you recently expanded some of your programs, right?
Yes, I'm the patient outreach specialist, and I'm also a 3-year survivor, as well as a Latina, and we wanted to expand our programs to underserved Latinas, and I'm going to be helping out with spearheading that, especially with Spanish language programming and also workshops specifically in Spanish.
That's fantastic. And I understand did you also expand some financial assistance programs you have?
Yes, we have our HUG program, which provides small assistance with gift cards for transportation to and from treatment, as well as with groceries, because we all know that cancer can be very expensive, and we want to do our part in helping.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you mentioned this, but a big part of what you do is education. So tell me more about that.
Yes. In the education opportunities, we have our program coordinator who provides workshops. It can be anywhere from how to deal with a cancer diagnosis, as well as fun activities. We have workshops, we have gardening activities that we do. We do high adventure activities.
I'll be leading a hike over in the gorge actually in September.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And we also have peer-to-peer support, which we partner a newly diagnosed woman with someone who's already been there. So it's really important to get that connection, to get that community of knowing another woman has been there, and so for that support.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about your hike and about the other community kind of support and events you do, because we just saw some pictures, like I saw people paddleboarding, I saw people cooking. So how do you incorporate that into what you do?
We incorporate that with providing opportunities for the community to get involved. We will partner with the different cooking classes with the paddleboard at Tualatin River. They will be able to provide us opportunities for women to get out and to experience nature. It's not all about sitting in a circle sharing your story. We want to provide those impromptu opportunities to connect and to be yourself.
Yeah. No, that's great.
As you're going through that cancer journey.
Yeah. And I know some of the events you do are also, of course, for fundraising because you have a Sunday Fun Day event coming up. So tell us about that.
Yeah, Sunday Fun Day is on August the 20th, and it's a fundraising opportunity out at Wine Country, Abbey Road Farm. And it's an opportunity to come out to, we have auction items, we have Trailblazer tickets, we have a 1-week stay in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and wine tours, and just so many other opportunities. We'll have a food truck, music, and an opportunity for the community to come out and support the work that we do.
Yeah, it does seem like y'all like to have fun because you just had a golf tournament too, right?
Yes, Monday was our 15th annual golf tournament, and we had a great day at Stone Creek Golf Course in Oregon City, and we had 144 golfers who came out and played and supported the work that we do.
That's great. When women call looking for help, what is kind of the number one need or the number one request that they have?
The number one need is that they want to know that they're not alone, that another woman has gone through their journey and can provide that emotional support.
Yeah.
And the biggest need is to be a part of a community of women who get it. It's not a club that you want to join, but it is a club that you know that you will get that support.
Yeah, no, that's great. If people want to learn more about you and go to the Sunday Fun Day, how can they get more information?
Yes, they can go to our website, breastfriends.org, or they can text Sunday Fun Day to 41444. And our website is breastfriends.org.
All right. Thank you so much for being here and sharing the work you do. It's really important. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back with more Hello Rose City.
Hello, Alice. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you so much, Barron. It's such a joy to be on your show.
Yeah. We're going to get into how she and I met and some of the things we've done together over the last several years.
Okay.
But the update will make even more sense why I want Allison to be with us.
Okay.
But we do have our food that we like to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to bust out a pizza.
No.
I'm ready.
But I'm going to grab these before you actually say on camera, Baron, find your glasses.
Where's your glasses?
You did do that a few weeks ago.
It stuck with you, so that hurt. I'm sorry.
No, it didn't hurt. It was,
It
like
was
funny.
me sending you that.
No, what was funny was, it actually sends me a little clip. But our food this week is kiwi.
Oh, I love kiwi.
Are you a fan of kiwi?
Yeah.
Great little fruit, right? Mm-hmm. Kiwi is a super fruit. Not only is it full of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory proteins, but it's also rich in potassium. It helps you balance your sodium intake and avoid high blood pressure.
I didn't realize all of that.
Oh, and it tastes good.
It tastes phenomenal.
Yeah, it's kiwi is a good fruit to add to your immunity boosting smoothie.
Okay.
Or to snack on just by itself.
Oh, yeah. I can see like some kiwi, bananas, and strawberries with some orange juice blended up. Yum.
Yeah, and for those that are watching on YouTube, I love what Ashley's doing. But for those that are listening, if you want to copy this, just email Amanda
at KSLM.news for really any information that you guys hear on this show that you didn't quite catch, didn't get to jot down, or you want a picture of. Just email me, Amanda at KSLM.news, and I'll get it over to you.
Yeah. Well, my update for you is going to actually happen very, very soon, October the 9th to be exact. It's a Wednesday evening.
Okay.
Our sponsor for the second half of the show is Marianne McNally.
Yes.
Marianne is the local, I don't know what her title is, local Breast Friends.
She's the local coordinator for our Salem Girls Night Out group.
There you go. I knew it was some official sounding title. But Marianne is now in her third battle with breast cancer.
Yes.
I had the chance to meet the people with Red Robin, and Red Robin has this wonderful new thing they're doing with any community.
Yep.
Hint, hint, any community. But you go to their website and you just click on the fundraising button, then you find the restaurant closest to you, and you submit an application, which I did. I actually have the flyer right here.
Yes.
20% off from your food purchase for the entire day. They open at 11, they close at 10. Whether you're eating in or taking it out, they'll give you 20% of the ticket. You just have to tell them that you're there for the Kicking Cancer event.
They're not taking 20% off. They're giving 20% back.
Thank you. Good clarification.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not saving 20%. That's a good clarification. You pay your normal price.
Yes.
But they will give us 20% of whatever your ticket was. That's a really good clarification.
Yes. And it'll go back to Mary and
Yeah, and then because it has to go to a school or a nonprofit, that money will come to us as a check.
Yep.
But then we can turn around and write a check back to Mary Ann to
just help her.
And I'm sure that Allison can attest to how much the medical bills can be when it comes to fighting any cancer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's our update is
Yeah.
please go eat at Red Robin Wednesday, October 9th. Tell them you're there for Kicking Cancer so we can support Mary Ann.
Yes. And another thing is you said it was in the evening. This is actually going to be all day.
All day.
So all day on October 9th, which is a Wednesday.
Yep.
At 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it doesn't have to be just to sit down. So if you want to just grab and go because kids are in sports and you're just tired, we get it.
Yep.
So call in and order ahead of time. That's totally fine as well. But you have to let them know that it's for Kicking Cancer. If you do not let them know, then it does not count. So please don't forget that small piece.
Yeah, they did say the only thing that's exempt is you can't order through Grubhub.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Because restaurants like Red Robin pay Grubhub something,
For sure.
right? So the only thing that's exempt is Grubhub. But if you just want to stop and pick it up, you want to call in and say, this is what I want, swing by and grab it, take out, that still counts.
Yes, and they've got new menu items.
Oh, my gosh.
We just interviewed them last week, and holy smokes, it was a great interview, and all of their new stuff that they've got out, they're coming back in full swing.
They are.
Definitely worth going and checking out.
They are. And I'll just point this out right now. We have a wonderful gift for Mary Ann. I found this wonderful book, The Cancer Vixen. This gal Marissa that wrote the book, she's a cartoonist, and so the whole thing looks like a comic book. But it's Marissa's own personal journey through the breast cancer.
And it's a true story.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
It's her story.
It's pretty cool.
And it is autographed up front by you and I and Allison. So this will be our gift to Mary Ann.
Yeah, she will love that. It's filled with humor as well. So.
Exactly. Bringing a little light to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I did want to bring a little light to it. How I met Allison is actually a really kind of a fun series of events. And I think Allison can add some interesting perspective onto her image of this guy with a really bright shirt on that came into her office.
Just chit chat and storm, I'm sure.
Oh, it's just a loudmouth with a pink shirt on. That's all it is. But my wife had done this run. It's called the Girlfriend Run, and it was up in the Portland area. It was a 10K, so I knew she was going to be gone for roughly an hour. And after she started running, I came back to the registration area, and here's this table with the Breast Friends organization. And the program director at that time, her name was Yvonne. Well, Yvonne's there. And Yvonne's outgoing, personable. She and I just start talking. It was really dangerous because now we're both talking. But we get done, and I said, man, I would just love to see your facility and see how we can work together. It was that first year. Like, no one knew who Kicking Cancer was.
Right.
And they're a 20-plus-year-old organization. So she invited me to go over to Tigard. And I walk in. They've got this little conference table. And then Yvonne says, do you want to meet our executive director? And then Allison comes out.
Okay.
So what was your impression of meeting
My
me?
impression was of Baron. He's very personable. So, here's this big guy coming in with a pink shirt, really has a heart and a passion to help others. And that's what really struck me is his huge heart that wants to give back, and he wants to make a difference in the lives of those who are, facing very traumatic times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember that I wanted them to get an idea of why I started it, so I pulled up that KGW interview.
And even though Brenda lives in Arizona now, they are close, really close.
We text every day. We probably talk at least every other day. How you feeling today, sis?
Today was pretty good. It was a little challenging this morning.
Look what shirt you're wearing.
There it is right there, people. Be brave. Woo!
Brenda is battling breast cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now they see Brenda and, breast cancer, and now there's a definite connection. And fortunately, they had a little box of Kleenexes on the table because I think I might have shed a tear or two.
Oh, yeah.
But then Allison invited me to come to their open house. And you guys have it in October.
We had the open house in November, end of October, 1st of November. It's a community outreach, so we welcome the community in. We thank our community partners. And so Barron came up and was there, met a lot of people. He was giving T-shirts away.
Yeah. And I had already decided to do the stair climb.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I was going to do it anyway. And Allison said, "Would you like to meet Becky Olson?" And it turns out I was actually sitting next to Becky Olson at the time. And Becky began to tell me, well, first off, Becky had announced to everyone there that her cancer was back for the 5th time.
Oh, gosh.
And for those that don't know, and I'm going to let you get this a little deeper in a minute, but Becky Olson and her friend Sharon founded Breast Friends. And we've had Sharon on as a guest twice, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting and talking with Becky and just hearing what she's going through for the 5th time. And I'm like, I'm going to do this stair climb anyway. And now her cancer had gone to her lungs, and the stair climb is a fundraiser for the Lung Cancer Association. So I told Becky, I said, I'm going to do this climb for you.
Yeah, in your honor.
Yeah. And that's a lot of flights. That's a lot of stairs.
It is.
I'm just going to go on record, because you and I were at the base of this. It's the U.S. Bank Tower in Portland. It's 40 stories to the top.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and there's 874 steps. Not that I was counting.
I was going to say, but who's counting?
Not counting. But I do remember that the COVID outbreak had just started in Seattle. They had just heard about it in Seattle. So there was still this little bit of apprehension there in Portland. So they were sending us out in little waves, so there was less people in the stairwells. I was one of the later waves that went out. And as you head up the stairs, about the 25th floor, your lungs are alive.
You're like, whew. Oh, man.
Yeah. And at the 33rd floor, I was just counting, there's numbers on the doors, 33, 34.
Right, yes.
To get to the top. And you take the elevator down. Now, they had actually said you could do it 5 times if you wanted.
Oh, goodness. No.
Did anybody?
I met 2 much younger than me, two young guys that did do 200 flights.
Wow.
Yeah. But I got to the bottom. I'm all covered in sweat. And Becky goes, "You only have to do it once."
And I have photos of Barron. I don't think I shared those with you, but I do
don't
have
think
them.
so.
Okay.
Oh, well, I know that Allison's going to, Ashley's going to want them.
Okay, I will share some of those with you, Ashlie.
Yeah. So that was just a really, it was a really fun event, but something happened to me during that event. Actually, it happened a few days afterwards because Becky was waiting for the results for her most recent test. And I realized I had met Becky twice, once at your event and once the day of that stair climb. We had sent some texts back and forth. We'd only met twice.
Right.
And it was about 4 days after the stair climb that she sent me a text, and it was confirmed that it had gone to her brain and her liver. And I knew what that meant, right? And I remember breaking down, just crying next to my bed, because I'm like, I just climbed a lot of stairs for this lady that I didn't know very well, who was probably going to die from cancer.
Yeah. Made you have probably a closer connection to her with doing what you did, and then to get that news.
Yeah. And I think she made it through most of that next year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, April 2021 is when she passed.
So just a year later, because the stair climb was early March. Yeah. It was a hard fight through all of 2020. But
Yeah,
it was again, I met her twice, but I busted Kleenexes. It was a lot of training on a stair stepper for, just increasing how many flights I could do, and then to hear that she wasn't going to make it was pretty hard. So, but what she did do, we're going to shift gears.
Yeah, thank you.
What she did do was a little over 25 years ago, you guys founded this organization?
2000.
So 24 years ago, Becky and her friend Sharon got breast cancer. So I want Allison to tell you more about Breast Friends.
Yes. Please do.
Shift
what a great
gears.
organization.
Lighter organization.
Yes. Breast
lighter-
Friends, as Barron has mentioned, it was founded by two women, Sharon Hennepin and Becky Olson, and they had each gone through breast cancer together. They had worked at another company, Dex Media, selling Yellow Page ads, and they had both gone through breast cancer. And it was at Becky's second diagnosis in August of 2000 when she found out that she was diagnosed a second time. And they just said, we need to offer support to others who have been there. There's nothing like a support group out here in the Portland area, and we want to teach the family and friends on the importance of taking care of themselves as well as taking care of their loved ones. So they set out on this mission in August of 2000 to file the 501c3 paperwork, and we're formally a nonprofit. And it has just grown tremendously since then. With their heart and passion that they had to help others really makes a difference. The whole mission at Breast Friends is to ensure that no one goes through a diagnosis of breast cancer alone. And that's what we do. We want to walk with them. We want to comfort them, help them with any fears, answer questions, because when you hear those words, you have breast cancer, your life is changed.
Oh, yeah.
And so just the services that we provide make a huge difference.
That's awesome. I bet them together when they were going through their breast cancer together, having each other
Yes.
was probably huge. And so that made them be like, we need to start something that supports women around this, because without each other, it probably would have been much more difficult to get through.
Yes.
If you want to know the truth. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's awesome that their experience with one another made them form something so much bigger for everybody else.
Yeah. And in 2000, we didn't have social media. We didn't have those outlets
That's right.
that we do now. And so they just hit the ground running, just really, working with medical providers to let them know that we have these great resources.
Yeah.
Please refer patients to us. So, it's just made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Well, and you took over as executive director how many years ago?
I became executive director in 2018 when Becky and Sharon retired. I'm a 19-year breast cancer survivor, and I had moved here from the East Coast in 2012. Looking for volunteer opportunities. Breast Friends is 5 minutes from my house. Walked in, met Sharon, and never left.
Never left.
Sharon is
They say that about me all the time.
Sharon's a big, ray of sunshine. She loves people. She just, just welcomes everyone. And so I felt at home. I felt that I had a place where I can make a difference to help another woman go through her journey. And through the process of different volunteer opportunities, as well as I became a staff member in 2015, became an event coordinator, and then they retired in 2017. They said, "Oh, would you like to take over as executive director?" And I said yes. I didn't hesitate because I knew that, that's what my purpose is.
Yeah, it was your path.
Right.
What programs have you added or changed over the last few years, or is it basically the same as it was 24 years ago?
No. When they first started out, they had support groups and a retreat. That's all that the services that they provided, and phone support. And then in 2016, when we hired Yvonne Neidigger to replace Sharon in her role as program coordinator, we expanded to our workshops to bring in community partners to talk to the women about, treatments, anywhere from nutrition to talk about lymphedema, to talk about, exercise and mindfulness. So we really expanded those programs. We expanded we have walking groups that meet all across the Portland metro area. They walk once a month. And then we have support groups as well. And then our newest, I know we'll get into this probably later, but a couple of new things that we have a peer-to-peer mentoring where we match newly diagnosed women with others who have already been through our programs and want to give back. They want to be that friend. They want to be that support person. So we have that, and then we have a Latina outreach that we started last year, reaching out to the Latina community. There's a big need there. There's a gap in communication, getting the treatment, and so we brought Brooks in. She's bilingual and is helping us expand that community. And then we've also expanded to Bend and to the Tri-Cities area in Hermiston.
That's exciting.
So, yeah. So many needs, there's enough, unfortunately, cancer is still here and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. So as long as we can support those individuals, it's really important to know that they have a place.
Yeah, absolutely.
To go to.
One of the things I love about talking with Allison is, here's Kickin'Cancer, 6 years old, and you're 24 years old. And so if I have an idea, I can run it past Allison, who they probably have already tried that idea and it didn't work,
Yeah.
I mean, like we have a chapter in Vancouver. They've got something in Bend and Tri-Cities. So they're doing the same thing. They're trying to push their message out a little bit further. But how do you monitor groups in Bend? How do you monitor?
Right.
So I bounce ideas off Allison all the time. The other thing that you're doing that I think is just so wonderful is that you're reaching into those Latino communities. Remember when we had Carmen on? Mm-hmm. We had a gal on who is bilingual. Mm-hmm. And I had read this statistic, which I thought was so weird. Breast cancer is the number 2 cancer in the United States, except in the Latino communities, it's number 1.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you about that and talking to Carmen. And so we had her come in and kind of clarify that. The other thing I want to touch on is something I said last week. We were talking about Esther. Mm-hmm. So there's a gal in Staten who last year, right about now, she was diagnosed, and I want you to help me get the words because I don't know everything. I can read. I don't know what it means, but she has BRCA positive inflammatory metastatic breast cancer. What exactly is BRCA? Is BRCA the marker? Is BRCA the cancer? Or what exactly is it?
BRCA is a gene that she inherited from either her mom or her dad side. So she has a gene that she is more susceptible to cancer. We don't know what triggers that cancer. And then she had metastatic, meaning it spread beyond the breast. It's either in the bones. Inflammatory means it's all-consuming, so it's inflamed. And so it's, highly more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. And she's the one, as of today's recording, she has not passed.
Okay.
But it's not good. She's on hospice, right?
Right. And that's where the Phil Knight Institute, how they're doing all that testing to find those genes and those markers really comes into play.
Yeah.
Because I guess if you get tested, whether you have that gene or not, you could take action to take better care of yourself, watch what you're putting into your body and what you're eating, what medications you're using to try to help not feed that cancer, if you will.
And I've talked to a few people. I talked to somebody just a couple days ago, a guy, but his cousin had tested positive. She was BRCA positive. And so, again, everyone makes their own decisions, but she decided to proactively do a double mastectomy and then do reconstruction. Mm-hmm. So she didn't have the cancer yet, but she had the BRCA gene. And she's like, well, before it rears its ugly head, that she just chose to do a double mastectomy and do reconstruction.
Now, can that save you can that really eliminate it completely?
Well, that's probably an Allison question.
When you have the mastectomy, they take out all of the breast tissue. So,
So essentially it eliminates it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, I do know, and this is actually really exciting.
Because Brenda, it keeps coming back, right?
So Brenda does not have the BRCA gene.
Oh, okay. So just different altogether.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
sorry.
Brenda's is metastatic, and oddly enough, and Allison and I talked about this, it's just really weird that it keeps coming back to the exact same place.
Yeah, that's what was. But two different things. Gosh, cancer just is an awful thing.
Well, you remember when Mickey Meisner was here? It's like a whack-a-mole.
Yes.
It's like every time you think you got it, another whack-a-mole.
Yeah, truly.
There's over 200 different types of cancer.
That's bizarre.
And so there's not like one perfect treatment because there's too many different versions of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody's bodies reacts differently and does things. Yeah, there's no Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I mean, I
across
don't even know how many conversations I've had with Allison on the phone because what is this treatment? What is this version? Because there's so many
Yeah.
versions of breast cancer by itself.
Yeah.
Right. That's why it's important to, find a provider who will be willing to sit down and talk with you about your treatment plan and not just cookie cutter, and so it's really important to find that provider who does, who'll take the time, because every cancer is different. They want to throw the same thing to it, but, your body may not respond.
Yeah.
Well, there's and we're almost out of time in this segment, but again, I met Allison for a little bit, began to see what they were doing, and we began to find ways to work more and more together. And I said, well, we have this program called Pathways.
Yes.
And you have women who have cancer, and potentially those women could have kids. So we're trying just to find a way for our Robin, who is a breast cancer survivor.
Yes.
So Robin from our organization can work alongside Allison. And if she gets a mother who gets a diagnosis, potentially we could step in and say, well, we can help the kids. You help the mom, we'll help the kids, and save this family altogether. We're trying to create this unity between the two of us.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. And they have a really awesome event coming up, but we'll get to that in the second half of the show.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to shout out our sponsor for this first half, which is Oddmo's Pizza. Huge shout out to Mike. If you guys did not catch it, I highly suggest you go to our YouTube channel to watch the live in action at Oddmo's.
So fun.
It was so much fun. And they're more than just pizza. They've got so many different appetizers. They've got salads, pastas, all the things.
All the things.
And the best pizza and the best wings. Oh my gosh, they're phenomenal. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.